In today's video, I'm going to show you how I made this beautiful oceanic water sculpture. Hi everyone, I am going to do another resin sculptural bowl, but this time I am going to, instead of embellishing it with crystals and stones and these acrylic kind of diamond things, I might put a few of those on. I'm going to be embellishing it with shells. I prefer to use contact paper because it has absolutely no creases in it, and it's like super shiny, so you end up with like a really shiny outside and really shiny inside. So I'm going to mix my resin. I have this plate which has a slight indent in it, and I think that's going to be perfect size for what I have in mind. So let me mix my resin and then I will be back. Resin is mixed. I'm using Stone Coat, it's a tongue twister. I wish they'd shorten the name. Stone Coat Countertops Art Coat. And I mixed it for about 5 minutes. And I have approximately 14 ounces here because you want it to be, you know, quite thick. So what I'm first going to do is just pour it in to my plate tray. I think I'm going to hang on to a little bit of clear. And I'm not fussing about the shape. I don't need it to be in a perfect oval. I'm going to let it sit probably for about 5 hours. Just put these bubbles. And if you go back to a couple of my other videos, and I'll put the link to them in the description below, you'll see that I have tried this on different materials like cling film or saran wrap, which is horrible. This just works for me. See this? I'm not bothered about that. Now I have my Bombay inks. I have some little starfish. Which were also not killed in the process. They're washed up in a certain beach. And then I do have, these are made out of plaster, these starfish, so I might add a couple of those. And these sand dollars are also not real sand dollars. They are made out of plaster. All right, so to begin, I'm going to begin with the color. I'm going to do turquoise. I'm going to use my stir stick. I don't want this bowl to be particularly densely colored, which is why I'm using ink. Oh, my squeezer will work. And then I have some, actually that was Aqua. This one apparently is turquoise, which looks more like dark blue to me. All right, gonna just move these around to color the resin. Oh, this is gonna be so pretty. Oh, I love working with resin. And so I haven't got one yet, but I am going to get a respirator because lately, I haven't done a lot of resin work lately other than just like coating resin, but I actually did develop quite a nasty cough, and I don't know if it's resin related or what, but people do advise that you do wear a respirator, so I'm going to start wearing one. I've ordered one on Amazon. Okay, I think that's all I'm going to do for the blue for now. Just put that here, and I have a little bit of Bombay ink yellow ochre, which I thought I'd do a little bit around the edge for kind of a sandy effect. And I was going to put some white, but I have decided not to. I'm just going to, oh, sorry, didn't say that word. Darn it. I want to keep this quite simple. So, yeah. Kind of just mixing that around. And I have, so I've got my little starfish. I'm going to use a few of those. I'm going to use a few sand dollars, and I also have some crystals that I'm just going to add just for a little bit of embellishments. Okay, so I think that's nice. All right, let me pop more bubbles. I'm going to begin with my shells. Just around the outside. Approximately, let's see, I did this at 12:30. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's 7, almost 7:30 now, so it's 7 hours. And I guess it always depends on the type of resin you use, but another big factor is climate. Like how warm or how cold it is. It's actually been, I'm in Connecticut and the temperature is getting a little breezy today, a little cold. Maybe it's because of Hurricane Dorian. So this is still quite sticky, but I'm debating about whether to leave it another half an hour and then do it, or I think I'm going to do it now. So what I have is, and if it is like too soft and sticky, you will get pieces that drip off. But that's okay. That's happened on most of the successful pieces I've done. You do get like pieces that they just slowly drip off, and you can, once it's dry by the next morning, you can just cut those off with scissors. So, and I did, as you see here, decide to add one of those plaster of Paris Starfish. I probably could put another one in here now. So you can see it's still quite tacky. Anyway, so what I'm going to put it on is this vase. I'm going to lift this off and drape it over. One of the downsides of using the contact paper is that it's heavy itself, like, whereas, you know, like Glad wrap is very, very thin and flexible. But this will work. I've used it before and it's been really successful. Okay. Right. Don't need you, don't need you. Done with you. All right, where were we? We are back to making our ocean resin sculptural bowl. See how sticky it is? That's why I'm wearing gloves. And those bits will just peel off anyway. And this is why I prefer to do it when it's really quite not set, because you can cut off these edges and it doesn't notice. Right, so now it's on there. What I want to do is create some folds in the resin. And you simply do that by literally folding in the paper on itself. Like down and down. It's still sticking to my hands, but it'll work. One of the most important things to get right, though, is to make sure, and I don't want to touch it with my hands, is to make sure the base is flat. So you can take a heat gun, because what I just did right then was touched a piece here and dragged it across there. So you can take a heat gun and get rid of those mistakes. It is a sticky business, I'll warn you, but it's worth it. It is definitely worth doing this. So I want that to have a little fold. This. And the other thing that's going to happen overnight is it is going to relax by itself. I think this is going to be really, really pretty, really gorgeous, actually. Big starfish. Let's see if I can get an interesting fold there. All right, let's see how this turned out. Not entirely sure it's going to be a success, but we shall see. Still kind of flexible. Just going to have to be. Oops, the bottom. Okay, and see, I'm going to have to fit around with this a little bit. Because now it needs to really sit and set up hard. And what I'm going to do before I set up the other half, the other pieces, is trim off any little flashing. Like there's a piece here, the whole thing can come off. But it actually is. So I'm just going to have to balance this. You see this flashing here, because it's not completely set yet. This is really easy to trim off. This here. Okay, so that's that stage. I am going to leave it like that to dry. It's completely solid. And then we'll come back and take a look, but I'll give you a little close-up of how it's looking right now. There's a big starfish around the back. I think that would look really pretty with a candle in it. All right, we'll come back when it's completely set. Good morning, everyone. What I decided to do last night was, because this was still so flexible, I put some masking tape around it to keep it in position, and then I didn't like the base. So what I did was I cut the bottom of it off and then positioned it in this petri dish and then poured resin in. So it's nice and solid now. I'm going to take off the masking tape so it's maintained its position. And now I'm going to take it out of the petri dish. Voila. I also put a starfish in the middle and put some shells on the side of the petri dish. And I think that's quite a stunning sculpture. I hope you enjoyed this and you try this. This is my sculpture with a base light underneath. And when you look in the middle, you can see the starfish that I've put in. I have more of these coming, some clear ones with actually light changing bases. So the base is just a light like that, but absolutely gorgeous for a night light or just an enhancement for some shelves. So I hope you enjoyed watching me create this, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.